Justin Mattingly here today, and today I'm going to go over with you hip pain, causes and cures. All right, first, let's go over what really consists of or makes up the hip, okay? So now, in this little model here, this is bony. You have what is called the hip joint itself, where the ball and socket fits into this little cup and creates what is called the hip joint. Now the hip really in itself consists of this whole apparatus here. You have the sacroiliac, the sacrum, and the ilium, and that sacroiliac joint, and then you have the femur, and you have the little ball and socket joint. Well, it's actually not a little joint, it's a big joint. And so this is the hip in its entirety. Now, the hip is made up, of course, of the cartilage that holds it together, the bones that I just went over, the sacrum, the ilium, the femur. And then you have all the muscles that make up this hip. You have the piriformis, you have the muscles in the back of the thigh, which are called the hamstrings. You have the internal muscles of the thigh. You have the front muscles, or the quadriceps. And then you have the side muscles, basically referred to as the iliotibial band. So basically that is kind of the entirety of the hip joint and the hip itself. Causes of hip pain can be due to inactivity, basically sitting too much or sitting a lot, injuries, which could be like trips and falls, auto accidents, could be any kind of injuries that a person might have. One of the ones that is hardest to treat is these auto accidents. For example, when a person is hit from behind, or I guess hit from the front too, their legs will jam into the firewall, and that actually can create a kind of a jamming situation where this hip joint can get kind of jammed up and create a lot of problems with this joint itself, knocking this SI joint, the sacroiliac joint, out of alignment. So auto accidents can be a toughie to help people get over. I once treated a patient, well, I've treated a few patients over the years that had a side impact. Somebody hit them from the side, and of course that causes a lot of injury into that thigh. That was a hard injury to take care of in one person, or one patient I'm thinking of in particular. So those are various things that can cause some hip pain. Other things that can cause problems are bad shoes, kind of bad posture, which actually relates back to how your spine has been injured in most cases due to injuries, trips, auto accidents, inactivity, and so on and so forth. These are easily handled too, like bad shoes. Well, you get good shoes. All right, so let's go over some cures for hip pain. All right, first, there is chiropractic adjustments. All right, so when the spine gets out of alignment, when these lumbar vertebrae twist to the left or to the right, when the sacroiliac joint doesn't function properly, you have the sacrum and the ilium. When that's out of alignment, that can create problems with this whole hip. When your foot gets out of alignment, it can cause problems on up the whole chain and cause you to start walking funny and create problems with this whole hip and lumbar spine and sacroiliac. So I actually do adjustments of the spine, sacroiliac, of this joint too, of the hip joint itself, the knee, and the foot. All right, so chiropractic adjustments, very important part of a cure. Then there's also pressure point therapy, which helps to restore the normal tone of the muscles that surround this whole area. You have the muscles in the back, you have the muscles, the gluteal muscles, you have the piriformis, You have the muscles in the back of the thigh, front of the thigh, inside the thigh, outside the thigh. All those muscles, when they get tight and sore and shortened, can create a bunch of problems for the way that your hips move. So getting pressure point therapy using thumb or finger pressure can really assist in curing hip pain. Next thing is exercises. Actually doing exercises, actually getting out and walking, or just moving your back, or doing weightlifting exercises can really help. Physical therapy. A physical therapist can help in regards to curing hip pain. They can help with the core muscle strength. They can help balance out some of those muscles by doing specific exercises. You can also Google that on YouTube and find various core strengthening exercises that you can do. For sure with hip pain, if you're having pain, I encourage you to get, chiropractic adjustments, seek out chiropractic help, get some physical therapy. And lastly, the next thing is orthotics. Now, when the arches of your foot, there's 3 arches of your foot, the main one being this inner arch here. When that drops down, it creates a problem where your foot actually starts to change the way it should articulate with this whole set of bones down here. And then it twists the knee. Then it twists the hip joint itself. And then it starts to affect the spine itself, the sacroiliac and the lumbar spine. So having a foot problem can create problems all the way up, okay? So if you have collapsed arches, you know it too when you have collapsed arches. You can actually see it. You start to develop foot pain. There is a cure for that, or a way to help it, and that's to get custom-made orthotics. And we actually do have a foot leveler scanning machine. It's a laser scanner that we can scan your feet and identify the arches that need support, and actually have some custom-made orthotics for you. All right, so there's the cures for hip pain, and certainly chiropractic really helps in that area. The pressure points, exercises, physical therapy, orthotics. And I really would recommend that you get some help for that problem. So there's the various cures for hip pain. Now, what I'd like to offer you is a chance to come into the office for a complimentary pressure point therapy treatment. And in this treatment, I'll sit down with you and do a short consultation, and then I'll do some pressure points on your lower back and this lower back area, and down the glutes and legs and so on and so forth. And we can really take a look at what is going on with your spine that's causing your hip pain. All right, so give our office a call. My contact data is below, in helping you feel better again with chiropractic adjustments and pressure point therapy.